from the dirt, from the clay. Okay. Now the Jinn are similar to us. They can obey and disobey. The Jinn can see us, but we can't see them, and it is very similar to like the Christian perspective of demons, etc., etc. But ours is a bit more. We have a bit more information on them, a lot of information on them, and we've got a lot of evidence in regards to them as well. Yeah. Now the Jinn themselves, we were told by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran that the shaitan, the devil, because the Jinn can be believers, non-believers, and some of them could be like devils, like shaitan. The shaitan, they call them, because they're like, they're trying to mess with us, basically.
Coming in with respect, I get the gist. Given that I don't believe in the supernatural, angels, demons, devils, the afterlife, or any of that, everything that you're saying is just refining a point that I already don't believe in,
Okay.
So I'm looking, I'm not saying that you're wrong, maybe you're right, maybe it did happen like that, very weird world.
Okay, but then why don't you just let me finish saying what I wanted to say in regards to the homosexual
you're not going to do anything which will, well, because obviously if you believe that, you can draw the conclusion homosexuality is wrong.
Yeah,
so what's the subject?
What is the point of discussing?
Well, I'm trying to discuss
homosexuality. I'm trying to discuss,
no, because no, you're right, if that's true, then I guess, I guess homosexuality is right.
Let me say something to you about what the Jinn can do from our perspective. They actually do whisper to us, but when they whisper to us, it's not like you're hearing voices like someone who's schizophrenic. They'll whisper to you with your own voice, so it's like you're saying. And what they do is they not only whisper to you, like if you're a guy and you see another guy, and they'll say, oh, he's handsome, they're going to make you maybe feel something in your genital area as well, okay? Yeah. So they can give you feeling in your body as well.
I get the gist.
Okay, so these people
do you believe in jinns?
People who have these...
No, but I believe they could be a metaphor for elements of the human psyche. So you could say it's an argument in your psychology which will guide you away from your
so he's not even believing in jinns.
People who have this issue, some people, like say for instance some Muslims who really do have issues like may not just be homosexuality, it could be something else. I know for a fact, I know people, I've seen it, who have done the ruqya, which is the Christians call exorcism, and it has helped them.
Exorcism.
Yes, it has helped them because it weakens.
Look, I'm one of the few people you'll get a debate about this with who will go, I can believe that there are some people who think they're gay but actually they're straight and you're doing them a favour if you can turn them. Yeah, I believe that happens.
So you believe in psychology?
Yeah, I believe in psychology, and I believe a lot of things discussed in religion are metaphors for psychology, and they were always meant that way.
Jinns and all of that
I don't believe jinns are literally real, but if you want to say that they're a personification of aspects of the human psyche, yeah, we've got a chat. Now, and I think sex is so deep in people, they can get deluded about it in both directions, so you're going to get people who are born straight who delusionally think they're gay, and you're going to get people who are born gay who delusionally think they're straight, and the moral thing to do is to help either of them to realise their true nature. So you may have bumped into someone who delusionally thought they were gay when they were straight, terrific, but I believe it seems likely that certain people really are born gay. I could be wrong. There's evidence both ways. But should they be? That's the thing. Should they be? I don't know if it happened. The point surely is this. I can judge people for their choices, yeah? And I will, and I should, for your religion, for your politics. What I won't judge you for are the things that are not your choices, and you shouldn't judge me. In other words, the colour of your skin, your race, the sex you got born in, and if it turns out how tall you are, whether you're male or female, and if it turns out that being gay is something you're born with, then I shouldn't judge you on it. I think that's a very sound moral platform. Well, you are. So, just hypothetically. Yeah, so hypothetically. Yeah, well, even if it's a mutation, it may be just simply a physical mutation. And I don't mean that in a pejorative sense.
No, mutate.
No, but there can be some hormonal issues in
for
regards
example, is to be born ambidextrous, okay?
Do you know what? When
you want to get born ambidextrous, but guess what? I got born right-handed, so I got born deficient. I'd prefer to have been born ambidextrous. I don't expect to get penalised for that. My point is, I got born short of the ideal. So what? So did everybody here.
Let's hear it for Auntie. You're gone.
If you're born, okay, with I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, go back.
Come with the flow.
My
flow is. Let's go hypothetical to find out how biased we are.
Yeah, I've got it back.
I can accept.
Got it back,
yeah, I got it back.
Yeah,
basically. Let me just I'll just forget again, probably.
Yeah, go.
Is the fact that for us, from our perspective, if you're born with something like that, like being homosexual or whatever, or you may just be born, you know, just because you're heterosexual doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to get married and have a partner. Okay, just being heterosexual isn't a God-given right that you're actually going to get married and have a partner and be able to enjoy intimacy. Okay, but what we do in our religion teaches patience and sabr, and having patience is sabr. Patience, having patience, and when you have patience, good comes to you. Okay, sometimes there's a test in life, and some different people have different tests.
Yeah, I can work with that.
Okay, but the thing is, there's people who may be born with an inclination to have sex with animals. I mean, what about that? That's okay then, I suppose.
Well, it's a good question.
That's a mental illness.
Okay, it's good.
Again.
There's people that, yeah. I mean,
let's just. Here's a metaphor for you. I've said you shouldn't judge people for things they're born with, for sure. Yeah. Now, I don't know, and nor do you.
I agree with you.
Okay, right. So that's my moral platform. That's my moral axiom. It covers racism, sexism, and a whole load of stuff. It seems like a good axiom. It will solve a whole load of problems. So the question is being gay something that you're born with, or something which is environmentally distorted onto you? Yeah. Now, I can accept that maybe it's an environmental distortion. I think it unlikely but possible. If it is, I'd support, I suppose, the idea of trying to bring people around to being straight.
So what do you think? Is it right or wrong?
I think it's okay because I think they're born that way. That's why.
So you think it's right being gay?
I think the evidence suggests now. So what I want to know from you is, if you knew for a fact.
Do you think it's wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
No, I think it is natural to do what you
no,
listen, this guy's...
Yeah, I am.
No, he's not. Wait, let me speak.
Go.
You're yet to answer the question. Is it right or wrong?
I'm saying.
Is it right or wrong to be gay?
What is right is to be true to your nature as you're born with it. Okay.
Why? What if your true nature is to be a serial killer?
If you're okay, let me give that.
There's people who are born like that.
I get you. So let me give it. Let me coder it. What is right is
hold up 5 minutes in it.
Okay. What is right is to be true to your own best nature, to the extent it doesn't impede someone else being true to theirs.
But how do you know that a lot of homosexuality doesn't impede on
I'm following your
society
example.
as a whole?
I'm following your example with the killer. The killer. The killer is following their own nature because they got born a psychopath, which is bad news.
Okay.
But they start infringing on other people's will, and they need to be stopped. Yeah, that's the parameter. With gay people, if you get born and it's your genuine nature to be gay, and I'm born gay and you're born gay, and we consensually aren't impinging each other's wills, we're finding a common ground to communicate, which is good. We're forming affectionate bonds. There is no inherent negative in that if I'm being true to my own nature. So the question is, was I born with that nature? And there's a possibility I was. So my question to you is, if you knew for sure they were born with that nature, would you still be against it?
We are against it because the Creator says that we shouldn't.
I know, forget the Creator. I'm asking you personally, forget the Creator.
I go with what the Creator says. If I wasn't a Muslim,
I'm looking for a
if I wasn't a Muslim, then I'm going to say, hey, go for it, do what you want.
Okay, fine. But I'm looking for
but
the
I'm
consistent
a Muslim, and I go with what the Creator says.
I'm judging whether your Creator is an accurate Creator based on the moral consistency.
He's accurate because sometimes people are born and certain things are a test for us.
There is a debate as to whether your God or any God is the correct one. I'm testing it by looking at how consistent his or her morality seems to be. Yes? The moral axiom, people are responsible for their choices but not for the condition of their birth.
If you look
seems
at
a good
homosexuality and this homosexuality and lesbianism, whatever you want to call it, these things are a lot of what I hear, emotional arguments that I hear in this speaker's corner and online. It's all to do with the individual.
I know, and I don't believe in that either.
But you are, because at the end of the day, you're not looking at what homosexuality or lesbianism does for the whole society. You're not looking at that. Just like you're not looking at, like when you're talking about the women being uncovered, for instance.
I think you've got some strange fear that like they're going to turn everybody gay and we won't reproduce.
I didn't say that. That's putting words in my mouth.
Okay,
no, she didn't mean that. She didn't understand it. Repeat that again.
I'm saying that if you look at the whole in society as a whole, okay, you may see that it's not so much of a problem maybe now because homosexuality's become more. They've got some rights, and I believe they should have some human rights as human beings, of course. But I don't believe that their human rights should infringe on my human rights, and that's even happening because some people, like some churches, etc., are being forced to perform marriages against their will of homosexual couples.
Well, maybe they shouldn't.
If that church, like for us as Muslims, we couldn't do that. We can't do it.
Okay.
We're not allowed.
What way do you
So
think
no
that
one can
I
tell us
What makes you think I
what to do.
support that?
I didn't say you did. I'm just saying in regards
so I'm
to.
presenting a position which says
I understand.
don't think
Your position
church
is
should
very
be,
fair.
Yeah,
I like
your
your
position
position.
shouldn't be. Your church
From
shouldn't
your-
be forced if you're against it.
Or
But I'm looking for the
yeah.
moral rationale behind what you're
Your
saying.
position, I feel, as a non-believer, is
Yeah.
very fair.
Thank you.
Now, he's a very legit guy. I spoke
No,
to
you
him
are
before
really
he goes.
fair in your thinking.
And I'm under the impression that God is fair. That's why I hold this position.
But you know what? Sometimes
You know, most of the
you know,
people, there are few people left like in this world like you know. You're a good guy.
The thing is sometimes, when in regards to the creator, we have to think that the creator is going to be something bigger than us.
Yeah.
So what we may not notice or see as being something which is good, he does because he sees the whole entire picture.
I grant you that's always
Yeah.
a possibility. There is the other possibility that we may have misinterpreted things a bit. We may have built some of our own fears into things, and we may have not been able to see the bigger picture. Because obviously on the surface you go, the function of sex is to reproduce, gay people can't do it, there's a problem. On the surface that's obvious. But when you bring it down to the human right level of achieving your own best potential with the goods that you've got, and if you get born with no legs, you're not going to be a good runner. If you get born colourblind, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But everybody try and achieve your best own potential.
Yeah.
And if I'm born gay and you're born gay, and that gives us common ground to communicate and create empathic relationships, I only see a win-win in that. If they're born that way, which is why I'm asking you, if you knew for a fact they were born gay, would you still say it was wrong? Because at that point, I think you should be going, okay, hypothetically, if I knew they were born gay, I'd have to say it was all right.
Well, no, I can't say that it's not wrong that they're in their mentality that they're gay. It's the act which causes the problem.
That's the same thing. You're still not
No,
letting
it's
them
not.
be what's true to their nature.
No, but they can't be. You can't be true to your, because even as us Muslims, like everybody.
Only because of your book, which is why your book to me now becomes questionable, because the two things come incompatible. Your book says absolutely no, but my moral
Okay, but
logic
you're
and
looking at-
consistency says yes. I
your
can't see
moral
the
logic
problem.
Yeah,
and your
now you're going back to the
consistency.
book, yeah.
Can I just expand on that? The thing is what you're looking at is your morality and what you think emotionally as a human being.
No,
Can I just say something, Sam, right? Before I became a Muslim, okay, I wasn't into religion. I was an agnostic. I didn't care about religion. I didn't like religion, and I wasn't looking for it. Okay, but when I'm presented with the Quran and the evidence that it is, the evidence that it is from the Creator, because I now believe that yes, that is from the Creator. So regardless of what I think about this or about that, it's not going to change one little thing. So all these thoughts that you're having about...
No, we know when you go back to the book, yeah?
Okay, you've just labelled me as being emotional. I'm not doing
No,
that. What
it
I'm
is
doing
emotional idea.
I know you want to think that, but what I'm presenting
Shouldn't
to you
make
is
it-
this.
put it in a
I'm
rude way.
being logically consistent.